All right, I wanted to show a aspect of oscilloscopes that you may or may not know about, but it's good to know about it in case you ever run into this problem. So oscilloscopes that are digital have a sampling rate, right? And so the bandwidth of the oscilloscope is based off of how fast it can sample. And so here's an oscilloscope that's a 1 gigahertz oscilloscope, 14 bits. And you can read here on the display, it'll tell you what its sampling rate is right now. It's 3.2 gigasamples per second. So 3.2 gigs. So it's oversampling, right? You need more samples than the bandwidth you're trying to measure. And then if you change the bandwidth of your, let's go to a 100 megahertz scope. Let's see here, 100 megahertz. Oh, it doesn't do it on this scope. That's interesting. So the bandwidth is a mathematical operation after the sampling. So the sample, the bandwidth did not affect the sample rate. Okay, so we'll leave it at max. All right. And then sometimes when you turn on additional channels, things slow down. So I'll turn on channel 2, I'll turn on channel 3, and I'll turn on channel 4. And it stays at 3.2 gigasamples per second, which means that each input to the oscilloscope has its own data path, and there's no sharing going on, okay? So let's go over here to this oscilloscope, and up here we can read 5 gigasamples per second. So it's also a 1 gigahertz scope, but it's sampling faster, so it's a little bit better spec on the sample rate. So 5 gigasamples per second, okay? And then let's change the bandwidth of one of these. We'll change the bandwidth to 100 megahertz like we did the other one here. 100 megahertz like the other one. And let's see if it changes. And it did not change. It's a mathematical operation after the fact, okay? So we'll leave this back at full, oops, at full resolution here. Bandwidth, we'll leave it at full. Okay. Now, let's turn on a channel 2. All right, and we've gone down to 2.5 gigasamples per second, so there must be some sharing going on, and I'll show you that in a picture. So we are going down. If I do channel 3, channel 4, it's staying at 2.5, okay? All right, so let me show you a trick, though. If you have an oscilloscope, you might want to try this on either a 4-channel or an 8-channel. It might have this trick, okay? So let me turn off all these other channels here. We'll go back to channel 1. Okay, so channel 1, we're at 5. Let's turn on channel 3. Oh, wait a minute, we're at 5. Let's turn on channel 5. Oh, wait a minute, we're still at 5. Let's turn on channel 7. Well, we're still at 5. So if we pick all the odd numbers, it stays at 5 gigasamples per second. So let's take a look at why that would be. All right, I got this photograph from the signal path. He did a teardown of the Roden Schwartz MX038, and I took pictures of the boards. So this is what's inside that, my Roden Schwartz here. Almost said Rigel. It's an R word. The Roden Schwartz. So here are the 8 channels. So each channel has its own input section, right? And so there's attenuators on each channel. There's some relays for AC coupling, DC coupling, grounding, that kind of stuff. 50 ohm input. Those what the relays do. And then there's the attenuators here that set the ranges. And then there's a preamp. So this chip here is a custom chip for Roden Schwartz. And then there's some other little op amps and things in here that add DC offsets. And so each of the 8 channels have an entirely identical input section. Then they run into an ADD converter. That's the thing that does the sampling. The 5 gigasamples per second is done with these chips here. And you can see that this chip has 2 inputs, so it's sharing. And so that was the reason that if I choose channel 1, 3, 5, and 7, then I'm only using 1/2 of each of these A to D converters. If I chose all the evens, it would have done the same thing. So with this particular oscilloscope, if you want to keep your speed up, always use odd numbers or always use even numbers, and then your speed will be kept up. So these are also custom chips, the A to Ds, and then they go into the data acquisition. So these are like FPGAs programmed. And these FPGAs gather this digital data. So it's analog here, it's analog going into the A to Ds. Now it's digital into these guys, and then these guys store that digital information in a bunch of RAM chips that are down here. So the Roden-Schwarz can handle 500 megapoints, and the Keysight can handle 100 megapoints, so a little bit more memory in the Roden-Schwarz. So we've got that stuffed with memory there. And then this chip here kind of does all of the hand holding for the front panel and display and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the brains. And then the actual data acquisition is all these guys over here. Anyway, just a video to be aware that if you do get a new oscilloscope, give it a try. Turn on different, or if you're evaluating an oscilloscope, turn on different channels. Turn on 2 adjacent channels and see if the bandwidth goes down. Some may actually share all 4 ways into this. So if you choose 2, it goes down by half. If you choose 3, it goes down by, the third, it goes 25%, right? So on the cheapy oscilloscopes, they're just going to have one of these chips because they're expensive. Anyway, quick video of the day.